So the definition of capitalism would be a system, an economic system that depends primarily on private property ownership, and that puts in place structures of economic organization that respect private property ownership as a mode of production. That would be how I would define it. In contrast, say, to other economic systems, such as socialism, where an industry may be fully nationalized.
Well, capitalism's done a great job for the people who are well off. But if we look at the disparity between the poorest and the rest of the world, that gap is growing. And so the question is, can we take some of the carrying and innovation power, the resources of corporations, and get them to focus more of that on the needs of the poorest? And it's very timely, because whether it's breakthroughs in medicine or using cell phones in creative ways, new forms of banking, food with better nutrition, there are clearly some things that these large companies, with their great resources and their innovation power, if we get them to apply that more significantly for those with the most need, that we can reduce impoverishment far faster than simply relying on government alone.
Mm-hmm. You write about how this idea mixes two primal human impulses, the self-interest that we all have and the desire and willingness to do good and help others. How does creative capitalism mesh those two impulses?
Well, there's a bit of a market failure in that if you're very poor, your voice in the marketplace is very small, and so you'll have a disease like a malaria or other diseases of poor countries where it's not going to make a pure profit-driven prioritization in the same way that something like reducing baldness might, because those consumers speak with a loud economic voice. So how do we alleviate that? Part of it is a view that young people really do want to be involved with things that are helping the poorest, that they want to associate themselves with a company who's taking some of their innovation power and prioritizing it for these needs. Now, there are people like C.K. Prahalad who pointed out that as you look at the needs of these consumers, you often come up with cost breakthroughs and you find a higher volume market. And so you can sometimes go down this path with it being purely sort of philanthropic, brand-oriented, just fulfilling the broad mission, and see that it actually does fit in with the more traditional way of prioritizing things. And that's fine with me. I think you've got to explore the space, and you'll find things that are economic and things that are more reputationally driven.
Ah, trickle-down economics. 3 words that strike fear in the hearts of progressives young and old, because, well, they fundamentally debunk that whole rich people are evil socialist redistribution of wealth mantra they have tattooed on their foreheads. Basically, trickle-down economics is the theory that wealth and free enterprise actually benefit everybody in the country, not just fat cats, aka the rich. Alvin Coolidge got it, and so did Ronald Reagan.
Well.
Look it up, you'll see. Here's what I'm talking about. Take Bill Gates of Microsoft fame as our example, because he's worth at least $1 bazillion. Maybe 2. To the Wayback Machine, please. It's 1973, and Geeky Bill has this great idea for a business. He packs up, leaves Harvard, scraps together a few bucks, and from his garage starts the Microcomputer Software Company, later shortened to Microsoft. A wise decision. He works hard, comes up with some great ideas, and then boom! Set the space-time continuum dealing to 1986, when Microsoft, no longer operating out of Bill's garage, makes its initial public stock offering. The result? 5 lucky folks, including Bill, become billionaires with a B, and 12,000 others millionaires. Okay, back in the phone booth, kids. Sorry. We're back in 2010, and thousands of others have joined the Super Rich Club, courtesy of Microsoft stock, and almost 90,000 folks in total draw weekly paychecks courtesy Bill's idea. So do the math. Bill makes a ton and paves the way for a whole lot of others to do the same, and many, many, many more to earn, shall we say, a better than decent living. In turn, those folks take that Microsoft cash and buy homes, cars, groceries, hire landscapers, painters, dog walkers, therapists, and clowns for their kids' birthday parties. And then those guys do the same, and so on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Doo. And here's the thing. As long as Microsoft continues to churn out great ideas and products you and me will keep buying, the trickle-down express will just keep on trucking. And, oh yeah, for good measure, Bill's tossed just a few bucks. 28 billion would it be, to be exact, to charity. Think about that for a second. Yeah, sounds like pure evil, doesn't it?